Well, 60 years ago today, the Beatles first stepped foot on American soil.
Yeah, and what better place to land than New York City? The iconic band arrived at JFK Airport on February 7th, 1964. Now, as you can imagine, fans waited eagerly for the band, cheering and holding up posters, maybe probably even passing out. A motorcade carried the Beatles to Manhattan, where they appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, and crowds gathered along the streets along the way.
Yeah, and 6 months after that trip, the Beatles came back to the city for their tour, and our very own Marvin Scott got a chance to interview them at the airport. Take a look here.
Fine, thanks, fine.
How's your trip?
Well, I've enjoyed all of it up to now.
And after tonight, what's next on schedule?
England tomorrow.
How's your tour been? Hello again.
Yeah. No, it's been very nice, thanks. It's been marvelous, yeah.
Wow, the term Beatlemania was coined just a few months before their initial visit to New York.
And our very own Marvin Scott joining us now to talk more about this. And Marvin, you have covered so many incredible events throughout your stellar career. I'm curious, where did this rank? And take us back to that very day.
I had no idea who the Beatles were.
What?
And then neither did many people in this country know who they were, because even Ringo coming here was concerned about how they would be received, because Americans were kind of indifferent to their music, their last two releases before they arrived. But just 6 days before they arrived, they released I Want to Hold Your Hand. And he had no idea that it sold 250,000 records just in 3 days, and it rose to #1 on the charts. So they were accepted, and that day at the airport, I can still hear the piercing screams in my ears of 5,000 fans standing there as Pan Am 101 landed, and these guys got off in their mod suits and their strange-looking haircuts. To me, they could have been aliens from another planet.
Now, Marvin, you mentioned that they arrived at a time where we all needed something to feel good about, to celebrate. Talk a little bit about that.
They arrived 77 days after President Kennedy was assassinated. They arrived when the war was raging in Vietnam, civil rights conflict going on. And as Cousin Brucey said, they gave us a reason to smile again. That contributed to it. Also, it was a change, it was a transition from rock and roll. Their music was vibrant and it was new. And that was why they were such a hit. 73 million people tuned in to the Ed Sullivan Show. Guess how much they were paid for it back then? For 3 performances?
I can only imagine.
$10,000 for 3 performances.
That's it.
That was back in 1964. And there were people who panned them back then. They said they would never amount to. Even Ed Sullivan's music director said that they would never make it. They were just a fad. Odds makers said they would never make it. Boy, were they wrong.
They were proven
And
wrong.
we're glad they were wrong.
All right, our Marvin.
They came to hold our hand, as the music says.
Did. They held our hearts for
But they captured our hearts,
generations.
And never
absolutely.
look back. Okay, Marvin Scott, you're our eyes and ears to so many incredible events. Thank you for being here in studio
Thank
and
you.
sharing
Good
your
to be with
memories.
you.
Appreciate it.